I'd like to turn now to a final development in biotechnology. One that promises, or at least aspires, to enable us to live longer, maybe to live for a very long time, maybe even forever. Would that be a good thing? Aubrey de Grey is an anti-aging researcher. He thinks that we are making such progress combating the aging process that the first people who will live to be 1,000 years old have already been born. Let's listen.
I understand why people feel the need to pretend that aging is a blessing in disguise, but in fact, there is absolutely no logical basis for the idea that death gives meaning to life. It makes no sense at all. I just need to gently point out that actually aging is quite bad for us, and the sooner we take some courage and recognize that it's bad for us, and that the sooner we do something about it, the better, the more suffering we will be able to alleviate.
Let's see what people here think. How many here would like to be able to live to 1,000 years old? Raise your hands. Who would like to live to 1,000? Who would not? The majority would not. The majority would rather die sooner rather than later. Tell us why you don't want to live to 1,000. Why do you not want to live to 1,000?
My name is Zoe, and I think the reason life is fun is because it comes to an end. Like, everyone says, no, you only live once. So it makes people do crazy things, like, oh, I only live once, so let's do it,
You would still only live once, but for 1,000 years.
But it's like, oh, why should I get a degree now? I can do it in 200 years,
You could take your time with your dissertation. Think about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's fun because it ends. It gives it meaning, I think, for this reason.
That life ends gives it meaning?
I'm not saying it has to end like soon.
Not tomorrow.
But 1,000 years, it's so long, what to do. I think people will get bored as well. And
yeah?
Yeah.
What about
you need to get a rush out of stuff.
Rush?
Well, some people, they do cliff diving because,
yeah.
you only live once sort of thing. I don't know. It gives meaning to life.
Who has a reply for Zoe? Who disagrees?
My name is Leo. I just wanted to address the boredom part. I was already bored when I was 35.
You were bored at 35?
Yes, I was jaded by them. But now at 40, I'm finding that I want to learn new things.
Yeah.
That I wish I had learned when I was younger. So living to be 1,000, I think, would enable me to learn a lot of new things, which actually I do find make my life exciting and interesting again.
Right. So you're not worried about boredom setting in around the 800th year or so?
No, that would actually be a good age to, become a sage.
Around about 800. Well, that sounds pretty good. What's wrong with that? Yes.
My name is still Judith.
Say it again. It's Judith. Yeah.
So I feel like this is about appreciation, right? If we have unlimited freedom and choice, the value of things decreases. There was a study about chocolates you could choose. And if you had the decision between 3 different chocolates or 100 different chocolates, it was way harder to find which one you like best. So when you have unlimited freedom and choice, you're gonna doubt your decision.
This is an argument against living for 1,000 years. Each day matters less, has less significance. And the proliferation of choice can even be paralyzing rather than liberating, you suggest. Let's hear from a defender of life extension who has a reply to that argument. Yes.
Hi, my name is Dave. If I would become 1,000, I can be a teacher, I can be maybe a president, I can be maybe a gardener. Whatever I would choose at that time, I could learn and reinvent myself and learn more about the values of life that's makes up our society.
So
And
you could constantly reinvent yourself
yes,
and have different vocations and different careers, and for that matter, multiple identities as time stretched on.
yeah.
And that would be a good thing.
I think I would like it. Maybe for some people it's not, and maybe it's a boredom. But I think society and the world will change so much every time that being bored would be really hard.
All right, who would like to reply? Yes, what would you say?
Hi, my name is Chantal. I'm not really worrying about the fact that we would get bored. I think we could invent a lot of things and we would be happy with it, and we would maybe have several identities. But I'm wondering what would happen to my mind, and would it be able to deal with 1,000 years? I don't know the answer. That's my question.
How would you reply?
Well, I wouldn't want to live forever. Let's be clear about that.
Well, now wait a minute.
Because
But it's not obvious from the arguments you gave for living to 1,000 that you wouldn't want to live to other. You could keep reinventing yourself
could.
indefinitely. More new careers we can't even imagine now. Why wouldn't you want to live forever?
Well, I think I follow the argument here that, and I know it's a thin argument, that if there's an end or a transition to something else, you're more aware that you're in this state of being a human with limits. And
why is that important?
limits give meaning. If I would be endless, I would dissipate. My identity would be nothing.
The fact that we die gives a limit or a horizon to life that gives life its meaning.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I want to go back to Chantal.